What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the 95th edition of the Tuesday Track Talk podcast featuring your Three Stones pit crew. I'm your Jackman Kel.
I'm your tire changer Cam.
And I'm also Cam, but I'm the gas man.
And we've got a loaded episode of being at the racetrack all weekend, fighting Mother Nature. So we're going to talk a little World of Outlaw Late Models, Midwest Tour at Grundy County Speedway, along with the Midwest Truck Series. We'll touch on a little news. We'll check in on the NASCAR world leading into the last race of the regular season. We'll crown a Wheelman of the Week. We'll look ahead to next weekend of racing, and then we'll get you out of here. So that's what's on the agenda for today. But before we jump into it, fellas, how we doing? What's new?
Well, as you said, was on boots on the ground yesterday as we record here on Sunday, so Saturday. So I'm feeling a little bit, especially for the amount of driving, riding, and stuff like that we did. I got home at about 1:45 this morning. I used to be able to pull that off at the bars. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, see, we went Friday, and we'll talk about this a little bit. We went Friday, got pissed on Friday, so we didn't get to watch any racing. I went Saturday. I left after the first feature, and I walked in the door at the apartment at 11:30. By the time I took a shower, I was wrecked, like just down bad. So I hear you on that.
Yeah, we were just talking before. Nothing new for me other than pending credit approval on buying a new vehicle since I've been playing peekaboo with my check engine light for the last couple of weeks on the old Pontiac G6. So that keeps you on your toes too when you can fire it up and you don't know if it's going to be on or off. So that's been a thrill. Also realized that there was something broke in the left rear too, spring or something. Left side was riding a little bit lower than the right side. So
Got that Mark Martin setup going for you.
Yeah, cracked windshield too. Traded her in for $500. So
and they'll never sell that, but it's all right.
Well, I put new exhaust on it for $400 this year. Stuck a new left rear on it for $300. So, and I threw some insurance on it. So I'm only getting $500 for it. I'm just literally throwing money out the window right now. So, it's time to move before they came back and told me I had to throw a new engine in it. So, traded her in, traded her in with the check engine light code read right on the front seat. So the old mechanics can pull her into the shop and address that situation right there on the right side. So
that's when you put a quart of Lucas in it before it blows up. They always run best right before they blow up.
Yeah, she needed an oil change too. I was just putting that off because I'm like, dude. I mean, yeah. So anyways, she was, yeah.
Black Bear, you took the money and ran.
Yeah. Well, I went and test drove a vehicle last year at this time in La Crosse, and I was, I knew 09. I mean, thing's 16 years old. So when I pulled up there and I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, I'll get a mechanic here, see what it's worth. Comes back. It was worth $500 last year. So it's still holding its value at least. Still got $500 for it this year. But
how? I mean, if you put plates on it, does the price go up or what?
But yeah, I was losing money insuring it, to say the least, because $700 a year in insurance, that's already more than the vehicle's worth. So,
Jesus.
And that goes with what is it, the 4 something APR on the card and stuff like that?
Yeah. So it's going to be an emotional day tomorrow if I get approved with this credit and get a new vehicle, because the old G6, she was good to me, but that thing is on its
Can't
ass on
pull up the
blacktop.
old G6 next park next to the G Wagon anymore then.
Yeah.
No. So, anyways, that was my whole debacle. That was going on from about Friday until Saturday of just, do you do it? Do you not do it? Is it over my budget, less budget? Yeah, the whole debacle. So, anyways, for all we know, if my credit doesn't get approved, that G6 is coming back home with me. We are gonna. She will be actually no. She would be a sad day if we had to hop back in the G6 and keep running her. But anyways,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump into a little racing. We're going to kind of start on the dual side of the weekend. We're going to go World of Outlaw Late Models at Maquoketa for the Hawkeye 100. I made 2 trips down there. We went down there Friday night, bummed around in the pits for a little bit. Went on vendor roll, got what we needed there, and then we got pissed on. So Friday night was a no-go. Saturday, I ended up going back. Looked like it wanted to rain. A lot of heat lightning. A lot of heat lightning. And it kind of just kept marching along, and I was like, man, if I get rained on and they didn't move the show up, I was going to be pissed. But anyhow, it went all fine. Racing was solid, actually. That feature for the World of Outlaws, they went 46 laps before they got the first caution, and unfortunately, it really came at the expense of Nick Hoffman winning that race. Because he coming into one, him and Pierce were kind of running a little bit different line. Coming into one and coming down the back stretches when the caution actually came out. But Hoffman got door to door, and he was going to sail it off in there and take the lead. He was going to slide him for sure, and that kind of killed his momentum. And then once you go single file on the restarts, it's just when Pierce gets the jump on you, it's just hard to go. And Hoffman could never really refire quite quick enough to be able to get him. So, no, I mean, for a quarter mile bull ring with no walls, like honestly, the boys played nice, and really the caution was for one. There was 2 cautions the entire race, and they were both for cars that had mechanical gremlins that just stopped. So nobody even really wrecked anything, to be honest, which was good to see as well. So, no, good race. I like going there. It's a solid place. The facilities are pretty awesome. Really is not a bad seat in the joint. So, no, I've kind of taken a liking to going down there. So, good race. Brian Shirley really gave Pierce a run for his money on the last lap. That really came down to right around a half a tenth was the difference in the finish. So he came from deep. He came from really deep. So Cody Overton ran well. Obviously Hoffman had a decent night as well. But no, it was a good race. Everybody kind of played nice on the bull ring.
You mentioned that Shirley came from deep. He went +10 looking at it here.
Yeah, he started deep. He just crawled his way around the bottom. He ran right around the bottom, around the tires, and just picked them off one at a time. And had it been 61 laps, he'd won that race. Oh, my God.
And the thing with, like, kind of thinking about the points battle here a little bit. Oh, brother.
Round 2.
They're getting close to the end of their season as well. So just watching the points battle kind of play out is going to be huge here too. So
yeah,
I definitely got to get down there one at some point in time. What is that, 2 years in a row now that you've gone to that one?
I went to the Nippy 50 in April, and then I went to this one now. So
gotcha.
Yeah, this year is the first trip down there. Yeah, cool place. It's only 54 minutes from the house, so that trip's really not bad at all. It's all interstate the whole trip. So Yeah, pretty cool place. So
Might have to be one that I put on the old schedule for next year. So
yeah, they moved. They announced the dates for next year. They moved it back a week,
Oh,
so it'll be the weekend of. Let me pull up my calendar, and I could tell you. They moved it back. It'll be the 21st, I believe. 21st and 22nd of August. So that one shifted back a week. So
well, I'm putting it in the old schedule now. So
yeah,
my old calendar. So
yeah. So that's where we're at.
yeah, cool. Talk about Grundy here a little bit then.
Yeah, go ahead and jump into the Midwest tour.
Yeah, so first time that I went down to Grundy, the same as you, I had to fight the weather there a little bit.
Yep.
Um, we were sitting directly north, is where the grandstands face,
Yep.
and there's an airport, small airport sitting over there too, and we saw this prop plane kind of flying in, and he's doing his thing, and out in the distance you just see the storm clouds rolling in, and I hear Drew from the tower because trucks were out for practice at the time, and I hear Drew in the tower go to Alex, and he goes, "It's kind of like deja vu from last year, isn't it?"
Oh God.
And then you hear, "Does anybody have the tent secured down?"
Yep. You're starting to count your marbles and making sure you got your ducks in a row for when
And
you
then
got a scramble.
and then the wind picked up, and she picked up in a hurry,
Yep.
and she picked up big time. Didn't rain, but the wind picked up, and she wasn't looking pretty, so we took cover just in case. No rain, went back up. Qualifying started a little later. Fast, deceivingly fast, kind of sitting from the grandstands.
Yep.
Neat little joint. Second groove was sprayed down, have been sprayed down throughout the year, so I had a pretty decent second groove up there.
Yep.
Hey, he's back.
Yep.
But polish, so we had 5 cars break the track record.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this qualifying session.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up the thing here because I could explain it better that way. So we're kind of running along, and obviously he got like kind of cool, and Eric Henefeld doing his thing. He says track record is this, and this from a couple years ago, and we're kind of chugging along and qualifying, and first one to break it was Ricky Baker. Goes out, breaks it. Couple cars later, Penn Sauter goes out, ties it.
Yep.
So Baker gets it. Johnson goes out 0.003 of a second off of the track record from there.
Okay.
So at one point in time, first through third was separated by 0.003 of a second. So like this is awesome. Mitch Haver comes out, breaks it again by almost half of a tenth.
Yep.
And then Paulie Schaefer comes out and beats it by 0.003 of a second. Last car, last lap, bam, breaks the track record.
That's wild.
And of course, Henefeld's going crazy, and all of us are just excited about it. And we're just like, hands down, one of the most insane qualifying sessions I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Other than maybe the Slinger Nationals.
That's wild.
So that not necessarily set the tone, but that started it off. So rain was coming, so they're trying to hurry the show up a little bit. But truck race though, guys were racing a little bit. About lap 3, leaders ended up spinning, wrecking a few cars. Daniel Bain got caught up again. They just ripped the hood off of that car, off of that truck to get her going again. Scott Shaselski had some issues. Crace had some issues. Took them out for the rest of the day, but that kind of shoveled up the pack a little bit. Obviously focusing on our boy Brandon Reichenberger.
Yep.
They were right in the middle of their summer shootout challenge as well. So you have them guys going at it for the extra money. Brandon kind of stormed through the field. He started out 8th, fell back in that caution because of the checkup, and had to work his way back up. But the outside line was there if you could run it.
Yep.
So you had a lot of side-by-side racing, guys kind of swapping lanes in order to catch runs and momentum and stuff like that. And just slowly, bit by bit, Brandon was able to pick his way through. If I remember right, this is one that he had circled on his calendar even before, because it's been a while since they had been there.
Yep. And then they hauled all the way down there last year and rained out.
Yep. So this is one that he had circled on his calendar. And then yeah, he took the lead and pretty much never looked back. Fast timer. Hammond was right behind him, but just was never able to catch him. So
yeah.
And that was that for Reichenberger coming off of his late model win up at Norway too. To boot.
Yeah, he won the quarter-mile late model feature up in Norway.
Yeah.
Dude had a hell of a weekend.
They had a long weekend, having to go from Norway back to Appleton, and then Appleton down to Grundy, and then back.
Yep.
So, then the Midwest Tour came out. He had Justin Mondyke and Gabe Sommers on the front row. Ty Fredrickson was right behind the both of them. And again, with that high line being able to run as smooth as it was, them guys were racing each other. And especially at the beginning where you saw the storm coming, you knew it was coming. They were racing to the halfway mark at that point.
Yeah.
Which it got.
Even just watching some of the highlights, well, that's all Freddie made his pass.
Yep.
He just rolled the top on Summers on the restart, and that's where he gained his ground and ended up ultimately taking the lead.
Yep. Summers is really good. Ricky Baker had a really strong car, obviously being one of the regulars at Grundy. He had a really fast car as well. I don't think he'd had anything for Fredrickson, but he was sure giving Summers and Vandergeest a hell of a time as well.
Yeah.
Pete, I listened in on Casey Johnson for a little bit, and he was racing. I don't think it was Vandergeest, but he was racing somebody. And caution comes out, and he goes on the radio and says, "I've never raced so goddamn hard for 5th in my life." But that's like the way that they were running. It was so tight, and not that everybody was so evenly matched, but you could run either line. That I mean, you could be side by side with the guy for several laps and not make any ground. So
right. Yeah.
I think it was
but even the highlights you watch, the place looks sporty.
Oh yeah. And like it used to be, it was just like any other short track. It was a bottom feeder track the way it was. But I think again with them kind of spraying the top or the second groove over time here, and it was a definitive. You could see that groove.
Yeah,
it has really produced some racing. So I was thoroughly impressed. I really enjoyed that race last night. But couple of restarts at the end with some back markers getting together and at it, but ultimately when it comes down to it, it was the Ty Fredrickson show. I mean, he had an absolute rocket of a car.
Yeah, he's been hitting on some stuff. It was going to be a matter of time before, at least with the Midwest Tour, he was going to find himself in victory lane. He's got good equipment. It was just going to be a matter of could they get the stars to align to make it, keep yourself out of trouble and miss the wrecks and things like that. That you just knew it was going to be a matter of time that they're going to find themselves in victory lane.
Yep, so, absolutely. So in his 16th career start, the 16-year-old gets it done. Ricky Baker finished 2nd, Sommers finished 3rd, Kaler 4th, Vandergeest 5th, Johnson 6th. Schaefer 7th, Cody King 8th, Blake Brown 9th, and Michael Hind, who made the trip up, kind of just quiet night, finished 10th. Obviously, he was in the Team Gearheads car. Yeah, just decent run. Nothing too spectacular.
Well, it's good to see him come up, though.
Oh, 100%. And this is, let's be honest, it was probably a payback deal from Majeski running one of his cars. Don't remember when, but at some point in time.
Yep.
So they got quite an agreement going on. That's I bet you keeps people curious as far as what's going on. But
Wouldn't be surprised if you see him at Oktoberfest again.
yep, I wouldn't mind it. I'd enjoy it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
no, overall, great race. Of course, like I said, the local guys kind of showed up a little bit, which is typical for Grundy, especially. Neat place. If it wasn't so goddamn far, I'd probably go a little more often.
Right.
But that's a haul. So,
Well, we were talking about this. Let's have this conversation just collectively between you and I on Saturday. Temperature of 94, real feel of 104,
103?
105. Oh my God, was it hot?
Yeah. And of course, what did I do? I wore a freaking black t-shirt.
I did too. Some of my favorite race shirts are black. So yeah, that was painful.
Which the problem was too is that um when that storm rolled through, it cooled down a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure. Which helped. It never did for us. But yeah, we were just talking about just the temperature itself. It's scorching hot. So cool. Any other kind of final thoughts on either World of Outlaws or Grundy before we just do this NASCAR check-in this week?
I think no, enjoyed Grundy, like I said. About the only
Really
race
quick.
I got to see though.
Yep, fairly quick turnaround for the Midwest Tour. 30th, they're back at the Dells for the Sauter.
Yep.
So that's a $10,000 to win race. So I'm thinking we'll have a pretty solid field of race cars for that.
Yep.
So,
Fun fact, actually, I don't remember who posted this, but they're building additional grandstands over in turn one. I think they bought State Park's old grandstands or part of them and are putting them in at the Dells.
really?
And they're putting them in turn four.
Those old wood ones?
No, because it had like metal supports on it. That would be a blast though. But and obviously Sauter's their big draw for that race. So
Yeah.
The old sliver in the keister. That's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, that race always draws a big crowd. A big crowd and a lot of race cars, let's be honest.
Yep.
Did you say solder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Solder's mixing it up on social media.
but then they'll be joined by the Midwest Truckers too.
Yeah.
So
And that kicks off the Labor Day weekend.
damn right it does.
So
Yep. So we will be at that one for sure.
yep.
So, all right. We're not going to particularly talk about the race itself as we always do. We've kind of been going a little different route with the NASCAR side of things. We've got a week to go before we jump into the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. And we're just going to kind of do a little bit of check in, check out, who's in, who's out, what Daytona could do that nobody can ever predict, I think is the best way to say that. So where are we thinking we would like to start in terms of figuring out talking points for this check-in?
I think unless Cam wants to jump in first here.
I'm trying to remember that episode that we went to earlier in the preview and what our over and under or what our numbers were on how many different winners we'd have. Be something to go back and look to because I know we put an episode out, but we are now officially to 14 different winners. And I'll be damned. Wreck 'em, did it again. Couldn't believe it, actually.
Talk about being clutch when he needed to be, though.
For real. And I didn't get to see the entirety of it, but him and such a great fantasy pick and happy for him. Old young Ryan Blaney. Him and Dylan and Blaney were going at it for a long time. Just side by side race, and Dylan couldn't quite get by him. And then it was the old lap traffic that ultimately gave Dylan the lead. Lap traffic was running the bottom, so Dylan was in the middle and was able to run Blaney up just a little bit high, ultimately sneak by him. And then Dylan made the call, and they came to pit road first, a few laps earlier than Blaney, and ultimately ended up being the winning call. So, yeah, I mean, there isn't just a whole lot to touch on that race other than that was you just couldn't believe it, actually.
Well, that gets him from 28th in the points, now 25th after Richmond, but it gets him from 28th into the playoffs.
Yeah, what a wasted playoff spot.
And makes that playoff picture, boy, very interesting. You know, looking at
it makes it interesting, but it kind of clears it up a little bit.
Oh, there's one spot left. Because Reddick is currently 89 and good. So basically he just needs to start the race. He's in.
Yeah.
So that leaves old Bowman, who's currently got it right now, up in the he controls his destiny a little bit. Not entirely, but a little bit.
He needs playoff points in the first stage.
Well, no. He needs somebody to repeat winner.
Yeah, he doesn't need a new winner.
Correct.
Because the new winner
is good points wise.
Yeah, he's good points wise. If he gets a new winner, he's out.
Yep. Plain simple.
So the bad part about the whole scenario is let's look about some of the guys that are below the cutoff, and these are all usually in the same camp at Daytona. Busher, Priest, Brad K, McDowell, Zane Smith.
Holsevar's sketchy enough that he could be a threat at the old Daytona.
Todd Gilliland.
Let's go back to a restrictor plate last year. Talladega. Kyle Busch.
Yeah. You can't count out a Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah.
Plate racing, you can't. I don't know.
I'll be honest though. You all know who's got to do some soul searching looking at this?
Who?
RFK.
I'm glad you brought them up. So I saw a thing from Jeff Gluck today.
Excuse my French. The fuck do they do if they have cars leading the line? If two of them get hooked up, what do? You're going to have to race them like they're anyone else.
Yeah. So NASCAR Insights posted this today too. Best average finish by team this season. RFK is currently third in that position, and they don't have any cars in the playoffs.
So I'm assuming the two teams ahead of them are Hendrick and Joe Gibbs.
Correct.
Basically, is what I'm gathering from that is like this playoff format does not reward consistency.
Correct.
No. Well, now given that's
because we're
average
rewarding
for the
Josh. We're rewarding Josh Berry, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon. Who else is a Chastain?
So
Jizzy.
So you bring up Chastain.
I was gonna say he's a one-trick pony, but he's a one-trick pony that's got
4 wins.
One
trick,
but he's got 4 tricks. Anytime
he's gonna be around an 8 car. I'm just telling you right now. It's actually kind of fucking wild to think he's gonna be around around an 8 car.
So you talk about consistency. Tyler Reddick, 7th in points right now, 0 wins. Alex Bowman, 9th in points, 0 wins. Chris Buescher, 11th in points, 0 wins. And then Ryan Preece, 13th, 0 wins. Kyle Busch, 16th, 0 wins. And then you get everybody else out from there. Guys that have won that are outside of the top 16, Josh Berry, the aforementioned SVG, and then Austin Dillon as well. So
where does Austin Dillon stand in that? Can I ask?
he's currently 25th. He is the lowest ranked points person out of all the winners. SVG's in 24th, so he's not very far ahead. He's only got 4 more points than Austin Dillon, but
I mean, to think that playoff points, that car is the second highest playoff car right now in SVG playoff standings.
yep.
All he needs to
Sure.
do is all the laps in the first round, and he's going to make the round of 12. And then he gets in the round of 12 and we got a road course, and he could have a chance to win that. And then he locks himself into the round of 8. And then it's a little bit more back to reality. But I'm just saying.
Now, and we'll save this conversation for the offseason because I feel like we've talked about it before with the playoff format. I feel like it's an every year discussion. So I think we'll leave that at that. Talk about it in the offseason. But like you were saying, though, too, there's a lot of guys that haven't won yet that have a halfway decent chance of winning their way in.
There's a couple camps. There's a couple organizations here that are going to have to do, as Cam would say, some soul searching. RFK, my oh my. Those team meetings this week are going to be wild. Another one. Front row. Gregson Smith and Gilliland. The Ford boys, if they get hooked up, like then now you're pitching one winner against 6 different cars in front row and RFK, both in the Ford camp.
Well, you got the other RCR car in Kyle Busch, all Aspire Motorsports, all Colleague as well, and Legacy.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And that's pretty much your top 26.
Yep.
Or if you're really thinking about it, you got the other Joe Gibbs car, the only Joe Gibbs car that hasn't won and is in yet. And that so happens to be the grandkid.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs. Yep. Gibby.
So
I don't know, man. My biggest intrigue of that is front row and RFK because you got 6 cars racing for one spot. And they're all racing with the same little blue oval on the front.
yep. And knowing the person that Brad K is and thinking of the leadership that he is in that team, that's going to be a you don't wreck any of our own guys scenario.
Yeah. I'll make it right by you. Just don't wreck our own cars. Yeah,
a couple thoughts while we're just buzzing on it. Old Gibbs, he's going to be an interesting off-season topic. But he's just and this is not an, I guess, I don't know. Maybe this is his way of dealing with it, but him during a race is like, dude's got to figure it out. Because I feel like he just, I don't know. The Glenn last week when he was complaining about his tires and his setup, and he's going at it with his crew chief, and then Gabe Hart chimed in, and then like last night when his brakes were going out, and he's just riding around. No brakes. This is fun, boys. No brakes. This is fun. And it's just like, I don't know. the attitude on that kid is a conversation for the offseason as well. But he's somebody that I felt like he was in a year where he's got to show us something, and I would say he didn't.
I think it was on everybody's bingo card that he was going to win a race this year. Now, there's 11 races left, so he still could. But
Yeah, but I think sitting at this point in the season to be where he's at,
no,
I think he's underachieving everybody.
Yeah, but win a race. Yeah, he might win a race, but let's be honest. The conversations around winning early in the season to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
You can win a race late in the year. That's good job. But like when you're not racing for the playoffs, it feels different. It is a little different. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
The other thing I was going to say too is, which this ties into this week, is Bowman on the cut line. I don't know what Bowman did to anybody, but I don't know if you saw some of the post race stuff, but
Oh yeah,
dude, nobody, and I mean nobody in the field was cutting him a break. Gregson racing him like a banshee when he was lapped out.
The legacy cars were after him too.
And I guess I don't know. I feel like Bowman is like just a mind your own business kind of guy, but I mean, now that's something to think about here too. Going into the last week of the year or last race of the regular season, Bowman's on the cut. If I'm him, damn, I don't think you trust anybody in the field except your 3 teammates.
And those 3 teammates, they got to be helping him a ton.
Correct. I mean, he's going to know he's got, hey, Hendrick, your job, says Kyle and William, is to whether it's hold the line up, give him an extra push, whatever. We got to make sure the 48 gets in. But
So the
outside of that, I don't think you trust anybody.
and I think the other part of that, and this kind of, I think, as you mentioned, that this kind of stems from that comment, I think is this the week that, maybe if Yo guy won, he gets it this week? I'm going to go out and say the 77 has made no friends. He's going to get pushed out of line, and it's going to get exacerbated in a hurry because when you get pushed out of line, it's not like you can just go to the bottom groove and make time on the bottom. When you get pushed out of line, it's see you at the back.
But he could also be that guy if he set himself up in a decent position at about 10th or something like that. He could be that first guy to jump out of line and people could go with him too.
I hope not.
I'm just pointing it out.
You're not wrong. He's a guy that would take a chance like that. I don't know. That's the other part of that too is I just think about shoving people out of line. Like that dude's got a bullseye bigger than the earth on the back of that car.
And he's another one that when you're in that position, at least if it was me, it'd be like every time I open my mouth, I'm going to do something that's just at least not going to dig myself deeper. At least keep yourself level, or at least, try to get some dirt under you to get yourself back to even. But not only does he race like a jackwagon, every time he opens his mouth, like he's doing nothing. Like the whole Josh Berry thing, like Josh Berry reached out to him and he said, "No, I'm not calling him back. I'm not talking to him." Like,
Gotta have a conversation with the guy.
and I think the way he's racing and the way he's talking and what he's doing off the track is like he's trying to make himself, I don't know. He's making his job a heck of a lot harder. Dude, he was bashing his own teammate last week on the radio. McDowell.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. So I guess let's pose this one question. Well, I guess let's do a 2-parter. We're looking at these playoff standings here. We got, the first question is, do we get a repeat winner or do we get a winner from outside the bubble? And if we get a winner from outside the bubble, who's it going to be?
New winner. I'm not gonna pick a driver. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Ford.
I think it's going to be a repeat winner. I don't know who, but I think it's going to be a repeat winner.
I'm taking a new winner in Ford. I'm not.
So Kellen's rolling the dice, and he's going to go Busher, Priest, Brad K, Zane Smith, Todd Gillen, Gregson, Custer, Cody Ware.
Yep.
Oh, Custer. Wow. Talk about just a year. Wow.
He's back there with their good friend Cody Ware.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even want, I mean, I guess I could throw this out too. I mean, sitting in 21st here too is he can restrict a plate race as well as old Dinger.
I was thinking about him too. Yeah.
But I guess I think I'm going to go repeat winner for the sole fact of everybody else is going to, I don't know. There's somebody in the playoffs, somebody that's, towards the top there, Denny, Larson, Bell, Byron, Elliott, Blaney, that has got themselves, they're just going to be out there riding around while everybody else is. This is going to be the first time in a while that you want to be back with the squirrels and you're not going to get your nuts cracked. Those guys are just going to be riding around in the back while all the squirrels are actually up front fighting for a win. And the old big one's going to happen, and then we're going to get some good racing from those top playoff guys right now down the stretch there, racing it
I
out for a
think one of
win.
the more interesting things with Byron, though, is that dude's already got the regular season championship locked up. So he's got those 15 bonus points for the regular season champ. Dude's literally playing with house money and can just bank up the playoff points.
Oh, did you see what they said on the radio? Then at Richmond, they said, "Oh, congratulations, you have officially clinched the regular season playoffs." And then he goes, and then they're talking like, "Yep, all right, let's start getting ready for Darlington. Looking forward to it." And then a few seconds later, said, "Well, we got to go to Daytona next week too. We'll look at Daytona first."
So they're worried about Darlington. Got it.
Yeah, but I don't know it. But you can't. I guess. And the other thing too is though, like you're looking and you look at who's outside the cut, and it's like you got some savvy vets out there. Chris Buescher could get it done. Dinger, Brad K, McDowell, a guy that's made his living literally on these tracks, Spinhouse.
Yep.
Oh man.
I don't know.
I will say one of my all-time favorite races, not to totally change the subject, was when Jimmy Johnson was trying to make the playoffs. And it was Daytona under the lights, and he ultimately ended up wrecking. But wow, that was a thrill. His last year, he was trying to make the playoffs, and it was under the lights, and he was fighting like hell. Ultimately got wrecked, but
Right.
this does make for must-watch TV. I will say that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I'm going new winner Ford. That's where I'm going. I'm not picking who. I'm just thinking there's going to be a new one.
I'm sticking with my repeat.
I guess I'll pose you guys two other questions while we do this check-in. Is this what you guys expected this year? Sitting here, like going into the last week with 14 winners?
No. Well, I don't know.
I'm going to say yeah.
I guess I could say I expected 14 winners. I just maybe didn't expect this combination of it.
Yeah. I would agree. I think that's a fair statement.
So but this
Will
is
say one
also
thing.
what
Go ahead.
this playoff format does is creates this kind of excitement. It makes this race that much more of must watch TV.
So, yeah, I guess I'm sitting here and like, I guess we got I'm on the over camp. I did not expect this many winners, and call me what you want, but Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, Cindric. I mean, you could even throw Briscoe in there, but Briscoe had to get it done. Now moving to Gibbs. Um, but those are a few guys that I did not expect to see on the list. Felt
Didn't
like we'd be
expect.
sitting.
I was gonna say didn't expect Dylan. Didn't expect Barry. Didn't expect Wallace. But that's about where my list would have cut off at. I would have swapped Wallace for Reddick.
For real, yeah.
That's
You
what it
good,
would
or
have
Me?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm good.
we're getting some. You listen. What are you listening to?
So if you want to go back and listen to our like check-in, we talked about the 16 different winners or predicted how many winners there'd be in episode 90. Minute marker number 90, 19 minutes and 20 seconds in is the chapter on that. So if you're looking for it, I'm trying to listen to see how many winners we predicted. I can follow up on that a little bit, but
No, you can keep rolling. But
yeah, I don't know.
and I guess I'll throw this question out there. Last one is, we didn't have it last year, but are you guys happy that we're back to Daytona being the final regular season race?
I mean, the way this system goes, you might as well throw that in there at the end. It's just a little cherry on the top. All right, let's stick one more car in there that doesn't belong. I don't know. Maybe that's a little cynical, but
Dude, but is there anything better than Daytona under the lights?
No, absolutely not. Daytona under the lights is
I don't know. Bristol under the lights is pretty electric.
no. I'll die on that hill. Daytona under the lights is so much better.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
You have to be there to experience it. I will say that.
This is fair.
And since I've been able to experience both of them, Bristol under the lights is like Friday night under the lights of high school football. That's the best feeling I can describe with that. Whereas under the lights at Daytona, it's just there's a vibe, there's an aura, there's however which way you want to talk about it.
Yeah. All right.
But must watch TV. That's what this playoffs does. This builds up for this exact scenario right here.
Yep.
One more spot. Can somebody steal it, or is Bowman going to be able to lock it up?
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, all right.
And I don't
Well,
know. I don't know what Bowman did to. What did Bowman do to everybody to get this treatment?
yeah, no kidding. For real. Well, any final thoughts here before we go ahead and breeze through some news quick?
No, this is going to be this is going to be a fun one.
Yep.
Yep.
Already cannot wait.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into some news. We got a few items here. Looking at, I don't know, 8 or 9 different little bullet points here. Fellas, go ahead and pick a color.
I'm going white.
I'll take the blue.
All right, then I will go. I'll go orange. So I'll go ahead and fire all the way for you. All right. Kind of right after we recorded last week, Spencer Hughes announces he's leaving JCM Motorsports. He is planning to build street stock chassis. So, looking at that, he's kind of stepped away from the late model deal for a little bit. And they actually had Joseph Joyner drive the car at Batesville for the topless. So, they also had Smoke, who we had on the podcast with Racing Jason, was on the crew for that bunch too. So, yeah, they worked on that rig there. Nice Motorsports announces they have a new majority owners for next year. Looking at some sponsors with JF Electric and DQS joining the ownership group. So, they got quite a change there in terms of who's calling the shots at Nice. And then in Titleman sponsor news for the Xfinity Series, O'Reilly Auto Parts is the leading contender to take over the Xfinity Series title. So that will be a mouthful for that one in terms of the NASCAR O'Reilly Parts Series. Xfinity Series, NASCAR O'Reilly Parts Series.
Xfinity will not be in it. It'll just be the O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I thought I saw Xfinity's still going to be a major partner.
They're going to be a major partner, kind of like how Coke and Busch are like premier sponsors for the Cup Series.
Yeah, got it.
It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, we all know that it's the as fast as Xfinity Internet, right? We can have anything for O'Reilly. Maybe somebody doing the O'Reilly jingle.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That'll be good.
I had to throw that out there.
Didn't even think about that. But I'll take these next two. Big news, which we had this conversation. I wish we would have, these episodes didn't have to be edited and we could just immediately upload them, because otherwise we would have broke this news last week with our conversation. But we had an in-depth on Donnie Schatz last week and his struggles and where he goes from here. And then the night after we had that conversation, I don't know if Tony was listening or Donnie was listening, but the night after we recorded, they posted Shots and Tony Stewart Racing part ways, and the Madman Kerry Madsen is stepping back into that car. So took the sprint car dirt world racing scene by storm. That when that news dropped, and then shortly after, Shots announced he was joining Big Game Motorsports for several races as David Gravel's teammate, and plans after that were not unannounced. But then those plans changed pretty quickly after his first night with Big Game Motorsports ended in smashed up equipment. So ultimately didn't run the second night. I think it was at Jackson with Big Game. He was in 15 for, was it Lunstra or Lunstra?
Something like that, yeah. That was just they didn't have the parts to repair the car initially, so that was just that was a one-off deal. So
yeah, and so Donnie did say, yeah, he didn't want to, he's a teammate and he didn't want to put that team in jeopardy of not having stuff for gravel and stuff like that. So yeah, I did see a video. I don't know if it was for sure after the wreck. I don't know if it was before the second night, but he just said we're gonna have to reassess where we're going from here. So I don't know if that was, night one of smashing up some new equipment, if he's gonna reassess that whole plan, or if it was just, hey, we didn't have the stuff while we were on the road. We'll keep you with, Big Game moving forward. But anyway, that was some shocking news to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's almost like Rodgers leaving the Packers. Like everybody talks about it, speculates about it, like it might and should happen, but it just isn't real until it actually happens. And it's just like
Brandon
everybody saw it coming, but it's still just a nuke when it actually does happen.
Brandon Shepard leaving Longhorn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sticking on the sprint car side of things, the High Limit Series posted a couple things this weekend. First one was a new winners bonus pool for beginning in 2026. Basically, the breakdown of it is that the winningest driver for 2026 will get a $40,000 bonus on top of the regular points fund and charter and franchise system and everything like that. Rewarding up to the fifth winningest driver. And then those purses will increase over the years, which will max out, I think, at 180 or $185,000 in total purses for the top five.
Well, these boys found some money.
Yeah.
These boys got some money. Can't hide money, they say, and these boys got it.
So putting money in the folks that are racing for them, their pockets. And it doesn't have to be any franchise guys either. It could just anybody that runs full time with them. So
Yep.
They also announced a new rule that took effect this weekend. Basically, to simplify it down, if anybody passes anybody before the leaders fire off or hit the turn 4 cone, they will be penalized.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
And then finally, and this is as of an hour ago, Oxford Plains Speedway announced that their past 400 weekend, the Pro All-Star Series, they will have a massive pay grade update for their 400 race weekend coming up in October. So basically what it is it's a 3-segment race, 100 out or 100 laps, 200 laps, with each segment paying $25,000 to only the winner.
Yep.
And then pay to go throughout there, $1,500 to start. So
yeah, it's interesting.
I think the total purse was 100,000 is what they ended up at. So
Yep. Yeah, interesting. I'm curious to see how that shakes out.
Hopefully it's all going to the winner.
we'll leave it at that.
Yep.
So
all right. Well, that kind of wraps up news. We'll go ahead and this is, I think, going to be my favorite segment of the week. Got a Wheelman of the Week. We got 4 nominations for the Wheelman of the Week, and I feel like we got one kind of predetermined to pick out. So how do we want to go ahead and rattle these off?
I'll take the first one. And the first one, I mean, certified Wheelman. The unthinkable Wreck'em. Austin Dillon does it. Not only ran well, but miraculously, he won that thing. So he's got himself in the playoffs and just did the unthinkable. So contender number 1, Austin Dillon.
I'll take this next one. You can have the last 2. JD, second topless 100 at Batesville here in the last 3 years, I believe they said 3 or 4. He's batting a really good percentage. You know, when late models decide to take the tops off, he runs pretty solid.
for sure. Starting with this one, Ty Fredrickson wins the Midwest Tour race at Grundy County Speedway for his first tour win. It's his first win in 16 races for him. And then sticking kind of with the Grundy theme, Brandon Reichenberger gets his first win on the year with the Midwest Truck Series. Should also gain the points lead, if I understand correctly. And he sweeps the weekend by also winning the quarter-mile late model race up in Norway the night before. So he's a busy man this weekend.
I mean, so obvious.
Let's see what Cam goes, because I think me
Yeah.
and you are on the same wavelength here.
Dude, I'm going Dillon.
Come on.
I'm going Dylan. I mean that was the unthinkable.
Well, I think we're gonna majority vote you here.
Yeah, we're gonna run you out of town on this one, unfortunately.
Do you want the honors? You want me to do it?
Fire away.
Brandon Reichenberger.
Yep, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, talk about a weekend.
So crossed the finish line, won the race. All he said is, "We're back, boys."
Yep. Yeah. He was quick time up in Norway too. He swept the weekend up or swept the race up there at Norway. So good time of the year to find your stride and take the points lead coming down the stretch.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, let's jump into a couple previews here. Cam, you're the dirt late model expert. What do you got for us?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday Dirt Kings at Plymouth and Shawano. Friday and Saturday Lucas Oil's rolling at Port Royal. Friday and Saturday World Outlaws is rolling at Arrowhead, and Saturday Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series at North Georgia. So plenty of dirt late model action across the country, and can be there. If you don't have the streaming service, I'm sure you can buy it and watch it. So a lot of action for you there, starting on Friday afternoon.
Jump into the sprint car world. World Outlaws, they go to Mississippi Thunder for the first time here in a long time on Tuesday night. I will be kind of playing that one by ear if I can make it or not. High Limit Series, they're going to be at Silver Dollar for the Gold Cup from Thursday to Saturday. There are a lot of cars entered for that one. It's a split field type of deal for this one, all on floor racing. The USAC sprint cars go to probably one of my favorite USAC tracks, Kokomo Speedway, on Thursday through Saturday for that one. They always put on good shows there, so that'll be a great 3 days of racing. And then the World Outlaw sprint cars again are back in action on Friday and Saturday. First at River Cities and then at Red River Valley Speedway.
Nice. Looking ahead to some of the asphalt side of things. ASA Stars National Tour back in action on Wednesday night for the Owasso at Owasso for the Michigan 200. So those guys get back in action as they come down the stretch of their season. Friday, this is one I got on my radar potentially. All-Star Challenge Series, Pro Late Model Challenge Series up here in Wisconsin. They will join the ARCA Menard Series at Madison. So the ARCA boys roll into town to Wisconsin's fastest half mile. As we mentioned previously, Daytona, Saturday night Cup Series underneath the lights for the last playoff spot. And then NTT IndyCar Series at Milwaukee. So I know we got somebody that will venture on down there. So that is the game plan for race schedules for the week. Race picks didn't go so good. So we are back to that. And I am actually going to go ahead and be the first picker for Daytona for the Cup Series. So I'm going to go Chris Buescher.
All right. I said it was going to be repeat winner here earlier, so I'm going to stick to my guns at that.
Yep.
I'm going to stick in the Ford camp on this one. Give me Austin Cindric.
Okay.
So leaving a lot of good cars open there for me. I really don't know that I want to do this, but Dude, let's go 2 weeks in a row. Give me Ryan Blaney.
So we're going all Ford camp on this one.
Yep. Yeah. Well, in terms of race standings, I mean, the gap is kind of closed a little bit at the top, but the bottom has gotten significantly worse in myself.
Dude, Kellen, if we were picking qualifying winners, you would have won last week.
Yeah.
Old Priest machine.
I was feeling good about that pick. I saw that and I'm like, fuck, we got to rock it. Nope.
Once we got into the race.
Yeah. Yeah, race pick standings are kind of pretty stabilized, I think, as of this point in the year. So we're gonna have to do some drastic measures here to get that righted. So,
And there's no reset for the playoffs. This is a rolling rankings there, guy.
yep. For sure, we start picking 2 cars for the Dome and the Derby. That's where I'm gonna make my headway. But well, any final thoughts to wrap up the episode here, folks?
I'm looking forward to the IndyCar race on Sunday. I had a blast last year. It's going to be just one race this year, a lot more laps. Just excited for that one.
Nice.
And I'm already bricked up for next Saturday night. Under the lights at Daytona, and this is gonna be these elbows up from the drop of the green this week. Expect the unexpected, and somebody's gonna do some wild stuff. So can't wait for that one.
Hell yeah. Well, that wraps up another, as we always do, jump all over the place in terms of racing we watch and we've been to, different series, different cars. World of Outlaw Late Models to Midwest Tour at Grundy. And as always, kind of keeping a beat on the NASCAR world. But yeah, that kind of wraps up another edition of the Tuesday Track Talk. Again, as always, if you're listening, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you got somebody that in your life that enjoys racing, shoot it over to them and get them watching another the next edition of the Tuesday Track Talk. So, well, that wraps up the last episode of the Tuesday Track Talk for this week, but we'll see you again next week for another episode.